Warning, parental guidance is advised.
The producers of this show do not share the views of some of those expressed within this program.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Well, he's online working. It's working.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
It's recording.
It is working at least.
Hey, he
Yeah.
understood Paul that time.
It is recording, yes. It's recording, so we're good.
All
We're
right.
good.
Okay.
All right, cool.
It's
So-
happening. It's happening.
Okay, ready to go?
So have we got the disclaimer in there?
Yeah, that's happened.
Oh,
Okay.
that's already happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so all this technical
We'll do it
difficulties.
live. Fuck it.
Wait, this has been the stinger, the opening sting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's move on.
No, I have a thing.
But we've been recording for like 5 minutes in the
Fuck
opening.
you, Ash.
fuck.
I've got a thing for it, right? Here's your opening thing, right? This story that I found when I woke
Fine.
up this morning. One funny story. During a training camp, I was sharing a cabin with some metalheads. One metalhead put on some music as ambience while sleeping. Woke up in the middle of the night, dark as shit, window open. I hear giggles and the chanting of children. Shit myself and prepare to get eaten alive by whatever abomination is outside the window. Then a guitar solo starts. Never been more relieved in my life.
Fuck's sake. Is that green text?
No, it isn't.
Fuck's sake. Let's
Kinda reads like one,
Let's
doesn't
just
it?
go with the open theme, please,
Yeah,
Paul.
let's go to our opening.
Tripod. Three cunts and they're sitting here doing nothing but it's a tripod. Tripod.
Hello and welcome to the Tripod with me, your host, Lone Enigma, also known as Ashley. Alongside me today are my two normal hosts, Jason.
Hi, my name's Jason.
He is the Weird's King.
You are a
And-
twat. Don't fucking say that again. How dare you? How fucking dare you?
And
Yes,
also joining us today is our boy, the man, the one, the only, Dan Cameron.
He's not here. Did you not get the message?
No, I thought he was just like outside waiting to come in.
No. I got a telegram from him
A
this
telegram?
morning. Yeah. A pigeon came in and
But
flew it over
You
to
don't
me.
get telegrams over pigeon.
You do when it's Dan.
Okay.
Right. He's just that kind of man.
Right.
So I got this telegram and it says, I regret to inform you that Dan Cameron cannot make it this week. He likes writing in third person. That's the
Okay.
thing about Dan. Dan Cameron cannot make it this week, for he has come down with a quite severe case of chapped sphincter syndrome. So I don't know what that is, but I hope he's doing all right. And,
I'm assuming he has a chapped sphincter.
Who was that?
well, it's okay. It's okay. I did some calls.
Right.
I did the rounds. And I decided to get someone who can hopefully fill the rather big shoes that Dan has.
So you need to get someone who's less talented, less offensive, and less great than Dan to fill the shoes of Dan.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm less talented, but I'm no less offensive.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
I mean, like, Dan's actually racist, so...
No, he isn't. Samwise Gamgee is.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a good friend.
Yeah,
Also, I can hear myself now.
good.
You probably that'll be a thing. That'll
Yeah,
happen.
I'm sorry.
So
Oh,
who is this mystery guest, Ash?
I don't know, you brought him along.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our mystery guest for this week, MajorWipeout.
Mm-hmm.
hi, I'm a friend of Jason's. I'm in America. I had to wake up fucking early for this.
What time is it over there in America land?
Yeah, what time is it?
It's very nearly 7 a.m. at this point, but I woke up at around 5.
Sick.
It's pretty good.
What did you have for breakfast?
I did, yeah.
What did you have for breakfast?
Oh, I just like reheated some pizza and made myself a cup of coffee. I was in a hurry.
Nice.
Pretty good, man.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I got a message from Major last night, and he was like, wait a second, what time is it for you now? And I told him, he was like, shit, I think I've made a terrible mistake.
I did. So I was checking for the wrong time zone this entire time we were planning because I didn't realize you guys jumped forward
Yeah.
just as we jumped back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting a 4-hour difference, but I ended up with a 5-hour one. So I'm like, oh, fuck. I
Can't
have
believe you've
to
done
wake
this.
up. way earlier than expected.
Well,
But I'm happy to be here. I talked with Jason and Ash a bit yesterday, so
no, you didn't. I don't know who
Here
you
I
are.
am.
It was a good time.
You need to keep up the narrative, Major. I don't know who you are. That's a joke.
Oh.
I
Sorry.
see.
Ash is a very serious role player.
Yeah.
Gotta,
What's this?
he's broken through my door before with a cardboard sword and been like, "Come on, my brethren, we must go to the foreign lands.
Fucking hell.
The ring must be destroyed."
I have hit him with a wooden sword before, quite hard.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Next segment, please.
What about our lovely producer behind the glass box?
Oh yeah, Paul.
Yes, hello everyone.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I'm here. I'm just here.
Only the most important person in the entire podcast. Well,
How are you doing, Paul?
I'm stressed.
well, we'll save that for the catch-up session.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next segment.
Yeah, let's move on to the next segment.
Whoosh.
Oh, it's the catch-up segment.
It's the segment where we do catch-up. And let's start with our esteemed guest today, the one, the only, Major Letdown.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I see.
So
How was your week?
how was your week?
It's been pretty uneventful thus far.
Right.
I've just been working a lot lately, but I had the last couple days off, so I've just been getting some things taken care of.
Have you done anything interesting? Okay, moving swiftly on.
Look, here I was expecting more questions.
This isn't. This is just the catch-up session, man. This is just us catching up.
Fair enough. No, I've just been working on some music and stuff. It's
Fair enough.
Cool, man, that's cool.
Nothing too eventful going on in my world right now.
Fair enough. How about you, Jason? How's your week been?
It's been a nice week again, kind of like Major, kind of non-eventful. Nothing much has
I
happened.
think we've got 2 weeks to talk about technically because
Oh,
yeah.
actually, I say that. That's quite insulting because I went to my auntie's 90th birthday
Oh,
last week.
Oh,
I didn't.
Yeah, it was on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Went there. I haven't seen my auntie in ages. I'm kind of bad with
Everything.
well, with everything, yeah, but especially like
Family.
talking with my family, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who isn't out of my, my immediate.
Your what's it called? I don't know
Sphere.
what relation is to you. Cousin Tom.
extended
He
family.
released his trailer for his video, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
It looks quite good.
I my favorite part is that he was like, Mum, this door's fucked up. Can we just destroy it for my film? And she was like, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, fair
That
enough.
was pretty good. But yeah, so this was an auntie that I think I've only met a couple of times in my life, but it's nice to meet
Yeah.
family again.
Yeah.
Something hit me while I was there, right?
Was it a ball?
Well, apart from the ball, but there were like pictures up of like her when she was really young,
Yeah.
when she was in like her 20s or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they were all in black and white, and
Yeah.
it hit me, and I was like, holy fuck. Just imagine, like 20, 30 years down the line.
There was no anime.
No.
It was so good.
20, 30 years down the line, right? We're gonna get like other people who are like 90th birthday, and they'll have baby pictures, and they'll be in color.
Mm-hmm. People are
No.
like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
These aren't holographic.
it's just weird. People will end up going through, like, we'll start getting people who have lived past the age of black and white
Mm-hmm.
and have
Yeah,
grown
like
up
people
with
who
just
are-
color.
People who were born into the
that's-
internet
yeah.
age, and their entire life is just kind of on the internet.
I mean, my entire life is not on the internet.
And you get to 100 years
nothing but
old,
dank
and you
memes.
can go back and look. There's my Minecraft Let's Play I made when I was 12.
The only bad thing is if when your life flashes before your eyes when you die in the internet age, you're just gonna have like 80 years of porn all in 1 second, and you're just gonna come everywhere.
I'm all right with
Well,
that.
that's how you die.
Yeah.
That's basically what my life is right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Thought that's
Okay.
what life was all about.
Dying in a tidal wave of cum. I think tidal wave of cum is a better name for the episode, honestly.
Is that
Drowning in
going
the
to be
seas
the
of
name for
cum.
season 3?
Yeah. The cum pod.
Anyway, I got another present.
A really broken party blower.
This was the only one that actually still like made noise. It,
Wow, that's the good one.
There you go. That works.
You can tell what sort of party it was.
Hell yeah.
If only you could hear what that sounded like on my end. Good lord.
There was
Is that a 90-year-old blowing thing as well?
well, it was new, but it's
then
kind of been
Jason
in my
fucked
pocket
it
for
up.
the past week or so. So you know.
How was your week, Paul?
My week's been very busy,
Fair
actually.
enough.
Yes. I've had bands to record.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing 2 albums at the moment.
Nice.
That's pretty
And
cool.
I'm writing a few songs.
Awesome.
So that's it.
Oh, that's fun.
That's good. Yeah.
Paul is
Yeah,
a music
good.
boy. He has a lot of guitars.
I have a lot of guitars, yeah.
They're pretty cool as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that one, there's at least, that one's changed for sure.
Yeah, that's a new
And there was another one
Yeah,
there.
that's different.
Yeah, there was one that was made out of plywood, right? Was it plywood?
No, it was made out of like some kind of weird material.
The one I made, you mean?
Yeah.
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 That was pretty cool.
That one's not here anymore, so you've got at least 5.
I've got 17.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. You
Rest
were
in peace,
a
plywood
bit-
guitar.
Yeah.
It's
bit
not a
off.
dead guitar, it's just not in this room. I really like that one actually. I quite like that guitar.
That is, yeah.
Oh, you said it's not with us, and I thought you meant in a
Oh,
literal
no.
sense.
No.
No, we're in an actual like studio. It's made in. It's Paul's studio garage.
You have to send the picture. They can send you pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll
We
send you
took
some
we took a
pictures
selfie earlier
of,
as well, so I'll send that one in the
Take
group
some
chat.
pictures and then you can
No,
see where we
they
are.
told me it was an actual studio. You could have fooled me when we were setting this thing up.
Yeah, well, it's...
How about you go fuck yourself,
Can we
Major?
can we just talk real quick about the scuffed ass setup that we've got right now?
Yeah.
Fucking
thing.
hell, it's ridiculous.
So we had a bit of trouble setting it up. Basically, we've got 2 computers, right? There's the main computer that's recording everything.
Yeah.
And then we're talking to Major through a laptop that is right
Yeah.
next to it. The laptop is connected up to the computer so that the audio from that is going into
Our
the main
headphones,
computer. And then Major's hearing us through a microphone attached to a webcam. He was originally dangling it over the speakers, but that wasn't working because
So he
both of
taped
us,
it to a pair of headphones.
both of us were coming out of different speakers. So he decided to just press it into a pair of headphones and tape it. Which somehow really worked really well.
It's working. It's working.
I'm just I think the kicker for me is the fact that was our solution and not like the ghetto thing we tried it. Like that wasn't the before picture. That's the after.
Yeah.
It sort of goes beyond ghetto.
Yeah. My week.
Like
I don't know.
before we finish, I want you guys to get a picture of this setup
I've
so
got
I
a
can see
picture
it.
of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Don't
This
worry,
sounds-
we've got a picture.
This sounds hysterical.
I've got a
It
picture
will
of it, it's fine.
be in the podcast.
Yeah, I'll send it to Jason.
I'll put it like on the screen as we're talking about this.
My week. Anyway,
Excellent.
let's go to my week.
Yeah, how was your week, Ash?
My nan died last week.
Oh,
Oh,
She was incredibly ill, in a lot of pain, and she passed away. So that's good. She's not in pain anymore.
yeah.
Quite happy about that.
Yeah.
They had a bit of a screw up with the death certificate. But I can't really go much
she's
more
been
into
dead
detail than that.
for a few years, hasn't she?
No, I can't talk about what actually happened there because there could be a possible ongoing case with
Oh.
that. But she passed away last week on Wednesday at about 9 in the morning. But she's not in pain anymore.
Mm.
And it's I'm happy about that. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna miss her a lot. She's a great person. You met her.
Yeah, I did.
She swore at you the
she's a-
first time you met
she's a-
her.
She was a lovely woman.
Didn't she call you a cunt the first time you met her?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she also insulted my hairstyle. but,
Yeah.
You know,
I think so.
I'm not fussed.
She was great though.
She gets a free pass. She
Yeah.
was like really old.
Yeah, she was really nice.
I don't mind old people being angry and stuff. They have a right.
But
To
she, yeah,
They've
it was great.
lived
Her
long
funeral's
enough.
on the 26th of this month.
Mm.
So yeah. Other than that, it was WrestleMania on Sunday.
Yes.
That was
WrestleMania.
good. I enjoyed that a lot. Did you watch WrestleMania, by the way, Major?
I was supposed to.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're
So
an idiot.
it's-
I
okay.
think from that you can gather what actually happened.
You backed off until you fell asleep. I would say that as a yes. Anyway, not much else to talk about really, other than WrestleMania and that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move swiftly on.
Marvellous.
Sounds like
Next
a good
segment.
thing. I'll have to find out what it is.
Oh, next segment.
Ooh, next segment.
Tripod and chill. Oh my.
I really like that.
It's a good segment.
We have a lot of jingles, Major.
They're pretty good.
We have some
Quite
jingles we've
proud
not
of
used.
them.
We've had some jingles we've not used in many episodes.
Like the parents one.
Yeah.
I haven't used the parents
I
one.
love
for
my
years.
parents so much.
Okay, so and as of right now, the winter anime season has ended. Now, for those who don't know, anime is released in like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Over the years, there's winter, spring, summer, and autumn, and everything, and it sort of goes like
I know
that.
a song about that.
Wow, so there are 4 seasons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they line up with the actual seasons.
No,
Why
yeah,
don't
the
you
winter
have to
season's in
explain
the
that?
winter season's in summer. And it says the summer season's in spring.
Look,
It's kind of self-explanatory to
Look.
say, all right, the winter
Major,
season
shut the fuck
for
up.
anime ended.
look. Okay, some people have to have it spelled out, right?
It's pretty unambiguous.
You'd be
Major.
surprised though. There are people who have to be told like which side to walk on the road.
I'm honestly surprised you realised, Major. You're American.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Trust me. It's just still I find it a little silly.
Me too. So I'm going to
Continue,
talk
Jason.
about the main shows that I watched this season.
2 main shows, right?
It's 3 main shows,
Okay.
but 2 ones that are like my top picks.
Okay.
There are a few more that I watched, but they were just sort of average,
Okay.
watchable filler is what I'd call them. So
And then there
you
was
know,
Citrus, which no one watched.
don't
was
fucking
good.
watch Citrus. It's awful. It's actually awful.
I like lemons.
It's sibling romance with a twist. The
The
twist
twist.
is no consent.
Just talk about your fucking anime,
okay,
Jason,
right.
please.
So first of all, we have Overlord 2.
Yep.
The second season to Overlord. I fucking love Overlord.
Overlord 1 was quite good.
Overlord was the show originally that it was the first show that I watched subbed.
Yeah. We mentioned this before on the Baby Food episode.
Yeah. It was the first one I watched subbed, and I watched it the whole way through in one night.
Yeah.
Because I was so engaged by it. So when I heard that they were finally doing the second season, I was excited as fuck for it.
You say finally, it only came out like a year ago, season 1. Did it not?
No, 2015.
I thought it was like a year ago. Fuck me.
No, the dub came out a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Now, I was a tiny bit worried because the second season was adapting books 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And 4, 5, and 6 sort of took a departure from the first 3 books. The first 3 books were sort of like, oh yeah, there's this evil skeleton guy and he's trying to take over the world. Watch him be evil and shit, right? And then 4, 5, and 6 are like, okay, so this guy's doing his shit, but let's take focus away from him and build up the rest of the world.
Tonight.
So there was like stories about this tribe of lizard men who were being conquered by the skeleton man, but it was focused on the lizard men and not the skeleton man.
Yeah.
There was a big story about the giant kingdom that's nearby where the skeleton man is focused,
Mm-hmm.
where Ainz is. That was a bit.
Heinz are my favourite beans.
That was a bit more focused on the Nazarick boys.
Yeah.
But it was also
The main
still
lads.
heavily world building. So I was quite worried about how that will be received because most of it is just world building. It's not like straight action.
Yeah.
However, it's sort of made up for the fact that book 6 is basically just one long fight scene. Like the whole book is just one long fight scene. So it was like, I think 6 or 7 consistent episodes of just a long fight scene. It was great.
Wow.
But that wasn't like the same fight. It was just chaos going everywhere.
Chaos from Sonic Adventure.
So I was kind of worried that they'd
guess
do
not.
that. They'd do that. They'd adapt to second season. Bearing in mind this is Madhouse doing it. And Madhouse, they never do second seasons. They only ever do 1 season and then that's it.
That's true.
So when they announced season 2, it was like, oh, holy shit, that's a miracle. But we were sort of disappointed because we were like, well, the best books, the best novels, 7, 8, and 9, not being adapted. Then, at the end of the final episode, suddenly, surprise motherfucker, season 3 has been announced, and it's coming in the summer. And I was like,
really?
well, shit. Well, shit. Okay, so I guess we are getting books
We
7,
get the
8,
goat
and 9,
scene.
and hopefully
What a turnabout from
10 as
Madhouse.
well. Yeah, I know. I was fucking shocked. I was like, "Holy shit! What are they smoking over there? Can I get some of that?"
Did you watch anything this season, Major?
Pop Team Epic is
Yes.
really it.
I was
That's what
about to get
talk
on
about
Pop
now.
Team
I'll let you
Epic.
guys talk about
But-
Pop Team Epic. I enjoyed it as well. That's my thoughts on it. There you go.
So first of all, I read like Pop Team Epic sort of casually before it was adapted. Sort of if I saw a comic strip of it, I'd be like, "That's pretty fucking funny." I don't get it, but it's pretty funny. I'm gonna
But honestly, you
watch
know,
that.
that's basically how Pop Team Epic is.
Yeah, basically.
Like, this is funny as fuck, but I don't get it.
So Pop Team Epic is sort of like if Adult Swim and Japan had a really angry hate fuck, and then they conceived out of it. That's how I'm going to describe it.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. And you know, and then the babies was sort of put on PCP, and is just sort of tripping, you know, like crazily throughout the whole thing. It is a trip to experience in full, but absolutely the kind of shit that I love. I could not get enough of it.
I mean, the entire first, like 3.5 minutes of the first episode was a complete fake out of a completely different anime.
Oh, I love that so much because it was
Like, when it first premiered, I was like, did I check the wrong time slot? Is this
Me too.
Is this when Pop Team Epic comes out?
Yeah, me too. I
feel like they timed it perfectly because I was this close to switching it off.
It was worse for me, right? Because I didn't watch it live. I watched the episode after it aired on sort of like, you know, on like one of the streaming services, and I sort of clicked on it, and it showed something else. I was like, hold on, did I just open the wrong show? What's going on? And then, like, you know, Popico like rips through it, and he's like, "Guess who?" You know, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's amazing."
No, it's the intro is like the lead up and then the theme song for this very generic like idol girl anime. And then as the title pops up, Popico just rips through the screen and says, "Not."
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I really liked it.
But honestly, I couldn't myself think of a more perfect way to have done that.
It was so good, so good. The way that
I feel like the Pop Team Epic anime was done so well because it wasn't like a direct translation of the comics so much as it was they did to anime what the manga did to manga overall.
Yeah, to 4-panel manga. Yeah, I really liked because I mean, if you just adapted the comic strips as is, wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
There's a guy on YouTube who adapts them called Captain Nameless.
I watched those. Those are pretty funny.
They are really good. And they are just like straight translations of the comic strip, but you couldn't do that on TV. You could not adapt
I agree.
them,
I feel like the format they went
on
with,
TV.
where it was now more of like a clip show, was really well done.
So the way they did it instead was like, yeah, let's just get like a whole bunch of people with really crazy like ideas on how to do different things and just sort of mash it together. My favorite sketch goes to Hellshake Yano. I don't know if you saw that one, Major. The one where the two guys are like using the the sketchbooks to animate.
But
yeah, and they're just animating it in person. That was amazing.
Reminded me of it, yeah.
That was amazing. That was probably like the best thing that I've seen this year in terms of animation.
Yeah, I want to do a rewatch of it. That was a really good season. I hope they do another one.
Yeah, I feel like a second season is inevitable. They haven't announced it.
They haven't announced it.
They haven't announced it. They've publicly come out stating that they fucking hated working on it and it was a hellish experience and they didn't know what.
I guarantee you that's
in for.
the joke.
And then at the end of episode 12, they announced that the idol anime that they were faking out at the beginning is getting a second season instead.
I have to believe that that's the second season announcement right there.
I think it is. I think it is.
I unfortunately, I feel like they've sort of passed the optimal window because, it's now the 11th of April.
Yeah.
The anime itself was announced on April Fool's Day last year.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been the perfect time to announce season 2, but
They'll probably announce it a bit later. Apparently, the whole anime took 2 years to make.
Really?
Yeah, about 2 years to animate everything.
Wow.
Because, I mean, it was a big collaboration from different people, so I think they benefit from getting more YouTube content creators in on it. Maybe even get Captain Nameless to do some of the stuff for that.
Oh my, that would be pretty fantastic.
Because they're pretty
I'd say
supportive of it
good for
anyway.
Captain Nameless then, because they've been doing that for a while.
But yeah, so bottom line there, good shit. I'm a bit disappointed.
If you haven't seen Pop Team Epic, go watch it right now. Pause the podcast. We'll be here. You need to see it.
Just watch all of the episodes.
We
Do
ain't
it
going
back to back.
nowhere.
Whole thing right now. Just binge it.
The one complaint I have, and this is not with the show itself, it's with Crunchyroll, who decided to cannibalize the subs to remove all swear words, despite the fact that this is Pop Team Epic. Like, the show which is really well known for the hamburger comic strip.
I really enjoyed the second. They run each episode through 2 times, and in one of the episodes where they showed the guy reacting to the horror episode.
Yeah. There was like a really played straight Shining parody, and then the second time they got it through, they got some guy to do like just a straight reaction to it.
Yeah, the two different dubs were so fantastic.
It's pretty good.
All right, so overall, which dub did you prefer, the male or the female one?
Males, absolutely. I feel like
the opposite.
It perhaps would have worked a bit better if they'd had both voices, but changed it to the males when the characters got really aggressive. That would have made it more surreal.
That's a pretty good approach. I personally felt like I enjoyed the female one a little bit more, but I thought the male one was a lot more fitting for how I sort of envisioned these characters just being in my head. Like, there's no way these two just sound like actual little anime girls. That would be against the point.
I prefer the female. I prefer the female voices personally.
Okay, so finally, there was Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens, which is a show about a group of hitmen in a world where...
It's not finished yet, is it?
No, it's finished.
Okay.
In a world where contract killers are legal, it's a legal job that you can do.
Should be a contract killer. Paul.
They move to this city, which I think is Hakata or Tonkotsu, one of those.
Tonkotsu ramen is a type of ramen.
Well, then it's Hakata then. Where 3% of the population are hitmen, and they start a baseball team.
Oh,
that's it. That's the premise. And one of the main characters is a cross-dresser, just for no reason. He's just like, I like dressing in women's clothing.
Wait, is it just like, is that the? I never saw any baseball in the show.
It's sort of like an off thing, but they like each episode title is named after a maneuver in baseball.
Right.
And the main character is a baseball nut. He talks about baseball all the time.
Right.
He runs a baseball team with all of the torturers and hitmen and stuff. Special mention goes to this part in episode 6, I think, where the main character is sitting here. He's got like the ceremonial garb on because he was at a festival. So he's got like, one of those sumo nappies on.
Yeah.
Right. And that's all he's got wearing. He's also got like this mask on and a samurai sword. And this other guy is trying to kill him. He's like throwing ninja stars at him. And he manages to hit one. He's like, yes, it's going to go right on target. And the guy just sort of like, he gets into this stance. And the guy's like, what the fuck is he doing? And he just pulls out the sword, gets in position, and then just punts the star away like a baseball. It was it was fucking beautiful.
So what would you rate it out of 10?
What would I rate it out of 10? Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens gets an 8, a very high 8.
Mm-hmm.
I would highly recommend
Pop
it.
Team
It
Epic?
was fucking entertaining. Pop Team Epic gets a 10. An absolute
Easy.
10.
Easy
Shit
10.
anime. The worst anime I've ever seen. Watch it.
And what about Overlord Season 2?
10. Actually 9, just
Okay.
because, it's world burning. But Season 3 is going to be amazing. No, definitely.
Bump it back up
update
to
myself.
10 because it's a fucking second season from Madhouse. Good
Yeah.
lord.
Yeah.
I think we need to move on after that now. but
We
thanks for
need
saying
that. We need them to do that more.
We're moving on, Major.
But yeah, so was it spring anime season review coming soon?
One Punch Man. Woo.
One Punch Man. Ah, it's an interview with your boy.
Ashley. So thanks. Ask me some questions. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm willing to answer.
Major, have you got any questions for our special guest, Ashley?
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
An easier question to answer is what's right with me? And the answer is
Because, like, all
pretty
right,
much nothing.
in preparation for joining this, right, I was listening to a couple of the previous episodes, and I stumbled upon the baby food incident.
No, we specifically showed you the baby food incident. We wanted
And
to know
I
what you
was-
were in for.
Terrified for my life.
Basically, I'm a bit of a cunt. And I've got friends.
I'm aware.
I've
I'm
got
aware
friends,
by this point. I was
got
half expecting a package on my doorstep this morning with a bomb and a note that said the deactivation code is at the bottom of the jar of baby food.
Surely could you just poured out the baby food if that were the case?
You have to eat it in order to.
No, I am.
We'll know if you just scoop it out.
I'm a bit of a cunt with way too trusting friends.
I do it for the meme.
I think you mentioned hearing the episode where I blindfolded them and made them play Jenga as well, right?
Oh fuck!
That was just
I
fun,
don't.
though.
I don't remember that.
That was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
No, the baby food one was because I'm doing a comparison later on where I feed them the same flavors but made by me instead, and see how much better I can make them.
There is no way to justify what you're doing. I don't know why you're trying.
The winner got some. The winner got some really nice gift. It's okay.
Okay. Anyway.
We're interviewing Major.
It's
Yay!
an interview with Major Wipeout.
So why do you matter to us then, Major?
Wow.
Well, considering I'm only here because I've been friends with Jason for a little bit, I don't know. Why does anyone matter?
I mean, like, what do you do
What do I do?
Yeah. What's
Well,
your thing?
other than sleep and masturbate? What do you do?
I would say primarily, I write music.
Mm-hmm.
I do a bit of drawing here and there, but music is my main thing.
His drawing is super gay.
It is, yeah. It's fucking whatever. It
That's
happens.
a strange tale.
Look,
Stop fucking talking about that.
It's okay.
I didn't ask for this.
I didn't either.
Look, you give consent when you decided to come on the podcast.
Don't go to my Tumblr. Just
What is
all
your
I
so?
ask.
What is your Tumblr by chance?
good luck fucking finding it.
It's going to be MajorWipeout at
It's a good name.
tumblr.com.
Probably
Fuck.
isn't. Oh, okay. Never mind.
So what
I've
What
been
kind-
found out. You broke the code.
what kind of music do you do?
But yeah, no. Primarily, I'm working towards writing music for games, which is the thing that I want to do eventually,
I believe we
like
have
for
a
my living. But
example of music for after the segment as well.
it's a work in
No,
progress.
maybe.
I want to say I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and I'm just always getting better and looking for new projects to work on.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's good. I remember seeing your stuff on the Binding of Isaac subreddit.
That was actually that was my start. That was one of the first projects I ever did. Was that was about 3 years ago now, and The Binding of Isaac Rebirth had just released, and a lot of people didn't like the new direction they took the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I could try to take a crack at it. So what I did was I listened in depth to the entirety of the new soundtrack and tried to take the same basic like musical structure that the new songs had, but apply them to a format that was more in line with the older one to
Did you
make it
make-
a little more appealing.
Did you make the music for Antibus?
And I got a bit of a following
that was
from
me,
that.
Dave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I would
no,
say
it's cool.
I'm pretty proud of how most of that turned out. But
Awesome.
I mean, as with any art, looking back, there are some things I would
Yeah,
do
you look at
differently.
it
But
and you're
that's
like, I could
just
do that
how it
better.
goes. You grow and you get better.
Okay, we're just going to pause quickly. Okay, so what would you say is a work? If you could change anything about one particular piece of work, what would you change? And what was the work, I suppose?
Well, are you referring to a specific project that I worked on, or
Yeah.
a specific song?
Project or song, it's up to you, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, just
Well, one thing that's always kind of been the bane of my existence up until this point, and I don't really know what specifically I would change about it, but I'd probably just want to talk about it right now, is back when Undertale was really big, right? The soundtrack for that game is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I thought, all right, I enjoyed that. I want to do a thing from that. Let's remix Megalovania. Nobody's done that. And, to this day, that Megalovania remix is probably the most popular thing I've ever done.
Christ.
To the point that it's like the numbers are so high that I'm amazed that no one listens to anything else that I do. And it kind of pisses me off that it's
Yeah,
as
that's
popular
fair
as it is. Because, like, anytime I put something out,
how big are we talking here?
I'll get a couple listens here and there, but I get notifications every single day of someone, like, favoriting it or sharing it or something, and I'm like, this is not even that good.
What
This
numbers?
was when I was still, very early on. I was still learning, and
Yeah.
it was just something that I wanted to do for fun. And going back and listening to it now, knowing that it's the most popular thing I've ever done thus far, it just kind of makes me cringe a little
How
bit.
big is it?
So I don't know what I would change about it, or if I would just have avoided doing it at all. But that's a thing that happened.
how many views has it got then? Like, how big is it exactly?
Oh my God! If you give me just 1 second here, I can load up the exact numbers. But it's kind of absurd because everything else I put out, it gets maybe, I want to say, between 30 and 50 listens on average.
Right.
But the Megalovania remix is currently at 17,500 listens.
Christ.
My next highest after that is 700. But that Megalovania remix has 17.5 thousand.
Fucking hell.
you should have done you should have done Hotlands.
Yeah.
That one's a good
Huh?
song. The Hotlands theme.
Yeah, Megalovania's a nice, well-known song. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, I know.
No.
Spider Dance,
Like-
I'd say.
Yeah, but you can't go any better than the guy who remixed it into a ska song.
That's true.
Fucking hell.
Maybe-
Because here's the thing, right? I personally don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was well done. I think it's probably one of my least favorite works that I've done. And if it weren't the most popular thing I've ever made, I probably would have deleted it by now.
I think a lot of artists get that.
But it's just kind of
to be honest.
bittersweet. You know what I mean?
I get that.
It would be probably less bittersweet if people actually like, hey, let's check out the rest of the
Yeah,
song.
see, here's the thing, right? Like, it hasn't even been a gateway for the other things I've done, right? Because I released that 2 years ago at this point.
Mhm.
It's at 17.5 thousand listens. The most recent thing I've put out is still only at 30. And that was 5 months ago.
Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, make a part, make a
Megalovania
yeah,
Part
make
2,
make
it's
a
not even the
refresh
song.
of it. Like, make one that's better.
It's literally just gonna be like a .wav of me screaming "fuck you."
Fuck you, fuck you.
You could scream fuck
You know the
and then
fucking the
pitch it.
Megalovania parody that Senor Palo did in that one animation?
Oh god.
That's how I feel.
So, Paul, as a
That's
producer, do you have
horrible.
any questions for another music boy?
For another music boy, you know what?
Yeah.
I know how hard it is. It's not easy. I've been doing it for 35, 40 years.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I do mostly sort of rock, blues, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Do you have a question for our
Do I have a
esteemed guest?
question? Do I have a question? Do I have a question?
Is that your question?
What's your main instrument? Yeah. Do I have a question? That's my question. What's your main instrument?
So I don't actually play traditional. I guess I would have to say keyboard because that's what I use. I use
It's like a synth.
I make all my music digitally.
Right. Okay.
I use FL Studio because my style for the most part is a lot of a mix between real instrument samples and chiptune. That's sort of the niche that I fell into there.
Right.
Just because my biggest inspiration was, a lot of the more old school games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because those soundtracks were sort of what got me into it to begin with, and that's sort of what I want to do with it. So
I used to love. I'm on all the stuff. Wipeout, Guitar Hero, all that kind of. All the old school stuff.
I think the final question before we move on is, what is your favourite kind of sandwich?
My favorite kind of sandwich.
Yeah, favourite sandwich filling, whatever.
Probably something like your stereotypical, like if you go out, right, and you order something like an Italian sandwich, like you've got the salami and pepperoni, and Italian dressing and mayonnaise, that sort of shit.
Okay. But if you were to make a sandwich at home right now, what would you make?
What's that?
If you were to make a sandwich right now at home, what would you make?
What would I make?
Yeah, if you had to make a sandwich right now.
If I had to make a sandwich right now, my fridge is pretty understocked at the moment, so I'd probably just put like chicken and mayonnaise, and that's it.
Fair enough.
A bread sandwich.
A bread sandwich.
I'm not exactly. Look, it's not fine dining in my house right now, man.
Well, before we go, I did want to ask about something. Because obviously you're a composer, but you help with games. And there is a new game that you've been working on recently, right?
I
don't know if you're allowed
hesitate to say
it,
that
or...
I've been working on it. It's mostly been the coder at this point because it's a tribute game to the band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And a majority of the soundtrack is actually going to be just straight the music from the album. All I'm going to be doing is sort of chiptune remixes of the songs for things like menus and bonus stages, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played the demo on stream. That was pretty fun. I don't know how much I got really... You'll love it, Ash. I got so angry.
Right.
I got so angry. I don't know how many times I reset and I didn't.
It's called Nonagon Infinity and the Opening of the Door, and
I saw this. Yeah.
The idea is that every stage is going to be played to a different song from the album, Nonagon Infinity, and every stage is also going to be a different genre of game. So the one in the demo is a 2D platformer, and then there's going to be a Doom-esque first-person shooter, and then I know the third one we currently have in progress is sort of a Hotline Miami top-down sort of deal. But it's really, moreover, it's been a passion project for my buddy Moo, who's been working on it. I got to give huge props to him for that. I want to say before we release that demo, he's been working on that for about 5 months, just because it's something he wants to do. So
tell you what, he's done a great job. Because I really, even though I was like tearing my hair out playing that, I was enjoying it.
And actually, it kind of blew my mind. And what opened my eyes for it a little bit was the fact that Vinesauce actually very recently played the demo and he streamed it, and it's on the Full Sauce channel right now, and that kind of blew my mind a little bit.
It's great how you can put something up and it can reach so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like, oh my god, when I'm watching this, I'm thinking in my head, I've been a fan of this guy for 5 or 6 years, and now he's playing a thing that my friend worked on and that some of my songs are going to be in. So that's kind of neat.
But yeah, to end that, I'm just excited to see where the project goes.
Absolutely,
I absolutely want to play the rest with this. When Major was like, "Yeah, no, it's not just platforming," I was like, "Oh shit."
We've got a lot of work left to go because we're 5 months in and there's one level in the demo, so we'll see.
Well, I think we're gonna end off the segment there. Would you like to introduce the song you've picked for us to listen to?
Yeah. So this is actually probably one of the more recent compositions I've done for a little game that we did for a game jam. So this was actually done under a pretty serious time crunch. I was surprised it turned out as good as it did. But it's called Mystic Mansion, and it's just sort of, the name sort of implies the vibe that I was going for with it. It's like a haunted mansion type deal.
All right, thanks.
That's nice.
Let's listen to that.
Thank you for the interview, Major.
Absolutely.
All right, that was good, right?
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you enjoyed it so much you started playing along.
I enjoyed that. I was playing along.
Paul got his guitar and he just started like jamming a bit.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. That's always the goal.
Right, let's move on to the next segment then.
Yeah, let's go on.
Whoosh.
Guess what it's time for, Ash? Apart from a trip to the hospital.
Breathe, dude. Jesus.
I think he's trying.
Hey, how's it going, laddies?
Guess what time it is?
What time is it, Jason?
It's time for the news.
The news!
Yeah. The news.
The news!
Okay, so let's start off with Mark Zuckerberg, right?
The lizard man.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been testifying in front of is it American Congress or
I think it's Congress, yeah.
it's Congress? Yeah. It's pretty funny to watch him. He's very clearly shitting himself.
He's a lizard, you know.
Like you
He doesn't
can
get
see
caught.
he's shitting himself. My favourite thing was watching it on the BBC this morning, and they were talking about him, and they just had to show the clip where he sort of really robotically reaches for a glass of water and then drinks it really slowly, like is it like he's
I like
trying
the one where he gets the glass of Coke, the toast, sorry, he just goes...
All right. So there's the fact that he's sitting on a booster seat when he's testifying, right?
Yeah.
The booster seat.
Booster
That's the
seat.
best.
And people have been joking. People have been joking that that's his spare battery in case it runs too long.
There's actually a contactless charger.
All right, so I frequent a subreddit called Aliens Among Us, and it's just
They've been having a field day with
it's
this.
a subreddit for people who look like they're not exactly human, and he is all over it right now, and it's
Is Martin
hilarious.
Shkreli on it?
My favorite thing so far is loads of people are now comparing him to Data from Star Trek. Like they're just
Oh
dressing
my
him up
God,
like him because he
yes.
kind of looks like Data from Star Trek.
I think he looks a bit more like, what's his name, from Red Dwarf.
Someone said this morning that he looked like a naughty schoolboy in front of the headmaster in an ill-fitting uniform.
Oh my god.
I think it's right. He looks like a nerdy as fuck, awkward college dropout. 'Cause that's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
So the best place to watch that, just going to recommend to you, Twitch is doing a stream of it. The New York Times.
Twitch?
Yeah. You can find a stream of it. The New York Times Twitch page. And obviously, of course, because it's Twitch, everyone's just spamming memes in the chat. And making jokes about him being like, you know, a robot and shit. But the best part is the New York Times Twitch is also joining in. And also making
Oh, for
jokes
fuck's
about him
sake.
being a robot. So I just thought, like, you know, if you want the best place to do it, don't watch it on the news. Watch it on Twitch and join in with the fun. So that's Mark
Honestly.
Zuckerberg for that.
Twitch is the place to be now, isn't it?
Yeah, Twitch is the place to be.
Why isn't that where we're doing this?
Because streaming live is something Paul doesn't really know how to do.
well,
Stream the shit show live.
also streaming live and Dan Cameron are probably not a good
I was
combination.
gonna- as a producer, I would have to have control before anything went out. With
Yeah.
some of the stuff you talk about, I
I'll-
could be prosecuted
Our
overnight.
best bet is probably to record it and then
Edit it.
live.
But the
stream that.
prosecution is part of the fun.
Yeah, not for me.
Paul has some very serious things he needs to do in real life.
Fair point.
This is more like a side
I
project.
don't care if they get arrested and taken away. That's fine.
But it's
Dan,
Paul.
Dan can handle himself.
I need
Yeah.
a disclaimer.
Yeah, just put I think you should start putting a disclaimer on the end
I
of.
think I should.
Yeah.
So our second piece of news.
News.
Somewhat related to Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Of course, YouTube's been having trouble recently.
Yeah. Oh,
It's been having a lot of trouble with demonetization and everything like that.
Yes.
You know, and of course, a lot of people are hopping to Twitch. Do you know Logan Paul's now a Twitch streamer?
Yes.
He's now on Twitch
see the
because he's
video
not
where,
making any money off of YouTube.
It's the video where it was like donating $50,000 to my favorite
Yeah.
favorite Twitch streamer.
But he's now an actual streamer instead,
Wow.
and it's fucking stupid. But anyway,
what does he stream?
I don't watch
Does
him.
he stream daily vlogs?
Why would I watch him? Probably. There's an IRL section, isn't
I
there?
fucking hate him. I want him to die. I think he should tase
But
himself.
anyway, YouTube recently actually had a person walk into YouTube HQ last week and start firing a gun.
Yep.
There was an actual
They
shooting.
shot some people, yeah.
Yeah, there were 3 people who were wounded, and then the shooter shot themselves. Now, there were reports at the time that it was going on.
It was a man in body armor,
The
right?
media were reporting that it was a man in body armor. Then, once the shooting had ended, they clarified, and the survivors clarified, that it was in fact a Muslim woman in a headscarf who walked in with a gun. Now, of course, people were like, "Oh shit, it's a Muslim, whatever."
Well, now that doesn't fit the narrative, now does it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the better part, right?
It's a vegan woman.
One news outlet took the picture of the Muslim
It was
woman,
Mashable,
and
by
then
the way.
Mashable, and then photoshopped her to look white.
Yeah.
Green eyes.
White with green eyes. Yeah, no joke. This happened. Just so that they can sort of be like, yeah, no, it's all white. It's all white. White alt-right guys.
I think this just goes to show that, like, this really just goes to show
the point that we're whitewashing to make white people look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I think
we
this
fucking reached a singularity.
This whole situation really goes to show how useless vegans are, because you couldn't even kill anyone. Women too. Fuck them. Sense that if you like, Paul.
The best part, right? The best part is that people were like, "Oh, well, she's a Muslim. Obviously, this was part of some terrorist plot." No, she did it literally because YouTube had demonetized her videos.
Yeah. Originally, people were saying, "Oh, the guy who was shot, who was nearly killed, was her boyfriend, and he was abusive." No, no, didn't even know the guy.
Yeah, it was either that. It was that. Then people were
news.
Yeah, then people were saying, "Oh, obviously it's a trooper from Islamic State."
Internal misogyny.
Literally just a fucking crazy woman who was like, "Well, they demonetized my videos. Now I'm going to shoot them."
Well, and I mean, my initial statement was said facetiously, but I think there's some truth to it that people really will sort of change things if it doesn't fit the narrative that they want
to. Oh, no,
to.
absolutely.
Yeah. And it's
absolutely.
It's
I find
just
it
so
absurd
intensely
as well. Like, the truth is already much more absurd.
It was a
truth
vegan,
is stranger than fiction.
It was a vegan YouTuber.
It was a vegan Muslim woman who makes bad content.
Yeah, and shot up a place because she wasn't earning enough money.
And failed to kill anyone.
If only somebody acknowledged the fact that she was vegan and gave her that medal.
The better part of this, right now, it was just going to be the reaction of how the media portrayed this. But I found something better, right?
Okay.
Turns out there are some YouTubers who are claiming that the shooting never happened.
What?
Yeah, right. Listen to this. Various videos claim that the shooting never happened, or that the shooter was an Iranian spy and in the pay of the deep state, anti-Trump forces within government.
What YouTubers are these?
Fucking hell.
I don't fucking know, because YouTube's deleted the videos.
Yeah, YouTube deleted all of our channels as well.
But of
course, they'll just take that as more evidence towards their theory.
Well, exactly.
They'll
Yeah.
be like, they're shutting us down because they don't want you to know the truth.
You need to hear this, right? This is so. First of all, it says theories that Nassim Angdam, which was the name. I probably said that wrong, but whatever. She's a shooter. She don't deserve respect. Was a spy, or that the incident was a false flag attack. Like, that's ridiculous. And then here's a direct quote. The shootings that we've recently had happen, they're all politically motivated. They're all part of the beast in the deep state. She is Iranian. Obama loves Iran. He's best friends with Iran. Iran is best friends with Russia. That's your proof that Obama is completely behind the destruction of America.
Right.
Wait, they tied it into Obama.
No. I love conspiracy theorists, Matt. We need a conspiracy theorist on the podcast.
Isn't that why Dom's coming on?
Well, we need him on, and then we need, like, another person.
Robert Brown.
We'll just get Dan to argue with him.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Let's get Obama on here.
Get Obama, yeah, exactly. Obama, why are you destroying America?
Come on.
Well, you see, it's fun.
I like it.
It's really hilarious to see.
Next story, slightly more somber one. John Crickfalusi, creator of Ren and Stimpy, has, like, some claims have come out against him. He's basically the latest person in the long string of, like, accusations coming out against
hashtag Me Too.
Yeah, hashtag Me Too. Big producers being accused of stuff, but there is actually some weight to this claim.
Yeah, actual evidence.
Actual evidence. There was a very long, lengthy article posted on BuzzFeed of all places.
So I've got to say, as sad as this is, it had a fucking awful title.
Yeah, that's BuzzFeed. That's BuzzFeed. The article itself was legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them credit where it's due. The title was the only thing inherently BuzzFeed-ish about it.
Yeah, the rest of it was like straight up
Like,
journalism.
It was a very clickbait title, but the article itself is well done, surprisingly.
Dark secret behind your childhood cartoons.
It's like, what the this had nothing to do with the cartoon.
Yeah. But basically, the long and short of it is, John Kay was, after he got off Ren and Stimpy, he started grooming two young animation students
16-year-old
around
girls.
16, 16 and 17, both of them.
Really?
He groomed them, he
And was
raped them,
Incredibly abusive.
he was really abusive to them. They came out recently with this story, and of course, now they've come out, John Kay's shown his true colours. He actually sent a very angry and threatening hate mail towards the woman, saying something along the lines of, like, you're a filthy whore, and if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to lawyer up, and then if I meet you in person, I'm going to kick your cunt in.
Right.
I think was sort of like the stuff there.
That's fair. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think
completely reasonable.
The final thing he said was ridiculous. Like, all I wanted to do was love you and eat your beautiful little pussy. I'm
Yes.
like, fucking hell.
Yes, it was so weird. He was like, if your pussy wasn't so tight, then
All I wanted to do was love you and eat your beautiful little pussy.
my favorite thing was him being like, why did you have to be so sexy? I wish you weren't so
Jesus
sexy.
fuck, John Kay.
Stupid sexy children.
Oh no.
It was sexy kids, sexy kids. Made John Kay do what he did.
So that's
Well,
that.
I mean, at least it would explain why he didn't fucking do anything else after he left Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, he has done fuck all for years. And I mean, I've always sort of had that thing about him. You think about other animation veterans like Craig McCracken, Gendy Tartovsky, Ralph Bakshi, anything like that. They've done loads of work and they're constantly animating. John Kay sat on his ass for like 20
John
years.
Kay's entire portfolio is literally just Ren and
The
Stimpy.
thing about John Kay was I always assumed he was mental. I never assumed he was a rapist. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of get the idea,
That's like-
just from watching the original 2 seasons of Ren and Stimpy, that he's intensely unhinged.
He's not okay in the
But-
head. Like, he's very unwell.
To go this far, it's just unfortunate
Yeah.
to see from, the creator of something that a lot of people I know. I don't know if any of you. We talked about it a little bit before, where you guys weren't.
I don't
huge
personally.
fan.
I think Jason loves
But
it.
so many people
I really
grew
like
up with Ren
parts
and
of the
Stimpy.
animation of it.
I don't like it
I
personally.
feel like shows like Cow and Chicken and Ed, Ed and Eddie and Billy and Mandy, they sort of perfected that sort of deranged animation.
Yeah.
But and I think it's fair to say that you can say that they perfected it, but you can't
but
deny
were
that
it not for Ren and Stimpy,
Ren and
they wouldn't
Stimpy
be about.
pioneered the idea. Because
seen a lot of
Cow and
pictures.
Chicken was essentially just a very direct
Cow and
rip-off
Chicken
of Ren.
was just Ren and Stimpy.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter like burning their first couple seasons of Ren and Stimpy on DVD.
Yeah, they put them in the garbage and set them on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, which is reasonable. I think.
Here's the thing, right? They have every right to do that. I've always been a really big proponent of separating the art from the artist.
Yeah.
I think
If I can enjoy a work that a bad person made, I don't personally find the experience spoiled.
I think the main issue is that the first 2 seasons of Ren and Stimpy aren't very good anyway. I think it goes on levels. There's a lot of things I can enjoy. I can still enjoy films that have Kevin Spacey in, but I can't listen to anything by Lost Prophets, for example.
Yeah.
Lost Prophets, the lead singer of which tried to rape a baby.
Yeah.
So
It's like
Well, and I feel like there's a line to be drawn, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I'm able to separate the art from the artist.
I don't think I'm really missing much by not watching Ren and Stimpy.
yeah,
No, that's fair. And like
there was some-
we
there was
said,
some genius
I don't
moments.
think you guys were huge fans of it to begin
No,
with.
I'm not.
There are some genius moments of animation, like the one about his cousin, Sven
Oh
Herc,
my goodness! Yes,
where he's talking about
Sven.
how he's going to murder him and shit. That was brilliant. I love that so much. It was so deranged.
entire episode is probably my favorite one of the entire.
Well, I mean,
original
the
run.
first half of the episode I found really boring, but when Ren gets home and he just completely loses it and he's talking about how he's going to murder him and
it's the
shit, that is
build-up.
beautiful.
I think we should. be
You
moving on
need
to-
that little lull in order to lead
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the absolute insanity that is Ren's freak out at the
Yeah.
end.
But yeah, so
John K's a cunt.
John K's a cunt. He might be investigated for it. Apparently, the reason they came out with this article is because the police said it was too old to investigate.
Right.
Which is fucking ridiculous. But there you go. There you go. He's going to get his own social justice. Much like Bill
Fuck
Cosby,
you, John K.
any other people. Fuck you, John K.
Never
Hope
gonna
you
work again.
rot in hell. Well, he didn't work anyway, did he?
Yeah, true.
I hope they take his couch gag out of The Simpsons, which was shit as well, by the way. It was fucking awful.
What's the next segment? Is it another news? Sorry.
There's still some news.
Oh, okay, sorry, I apologise.
Our next news, lighter news as well. Sega might be making a new console.
Ooh.
The president of
And
the company.
no one's gonna buy it, and then they'll leave the console business again.
I'm gonna say it, fuck you.
So the president expressed interest in rejoining the console market. He hasn't said anything concrete. He said, "Don't get too excited." At the moment, we're just sort of looking at doing a thing similar to like the NES or SNES Mini.
Yeah.
But with like the Genesis and the Mega Drive, which
Genesis
could be
and Mega
fun.
Drive is the same console, Jason.
I quite like that. Well, whatever. The
Yeah,
Master
that's not
System.
really the same thing as a new console, but I'd buy it.
However, I would say I quite like to have like an actual games company that is competing with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because while
I
Nintendo's
will
doing
say,
really
like,
good right now, that's
know-
only because they were fucking awful last generation. And
Yeah.
I think once, because they've got this much success,
for
they're going to
Nepal.
start getting cocky, and it's like, it's going to get
Well,
bad.
and the console market, I think, is rife for a shakeup at this
Yeah,
point because
we
we're
need
in
a
this
new-
weird sort of stasis where the Xbox and the PlayStation aren't really competing anymore
Yeah,
so
the
much
Xbox
as they
and the
are
PlayStation,
coexisting. And
they're
then
just kinda like
Nintendo's just
slap
off in its own space, making their own money with a completely different market.
Yeah.
There's really nothing new
we
going
need a new
on under the
console.
sun at this
We
point.
need a new console.
We need a new console that does a completely new thing, like the Wii. We need a new Wii.
Yeah. I need a Wii.
Me too, actually. But before we go off for a break, just want to end on my muggy cunt of the week.
Okay, go for it.
Henry Vincent.
Who?
And his supporters. Henry Vincent is a burglar who broke into a man's house.
Oh, the guy, yeah.
Yep. Richard Osborne Brooks, and Richard killed him in self-defense.
Yeah.
Yep.
With his own screwdriver.
With his own screwdriver. Good on him.
Damn.
Now, obviously,
badass.
I think death in self-defense. That's like legal in America. You can kill someone if they
Yes.
intrude in your home in America. I don't know if it's legal over here.
It is in certain
It is.
situations, as long as you
It
don't use
should be
excessive.
if
As
it
long as you don't
isn't.
use excessive force, yes, it's legal.
Yeah. So basically, guy gets killed because he broke into someone's house and he was trying to steal shit from him.
Yeah.
Guy didn't appreciate that. I think that's completely fair. Suddenly, all of the burglar's family are now putting up tributes around this guy's home, saying like, "Oh, why did he have to die? Why, he was a person too. He had a child and everything.
He was just breaking into your home to steal shit.
Yeah, he was
what did he do?
Just breaking into your home to steal shit." Now, here's the important thing that the news neglects, because the news is sympathising with the burglar, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
by the
that's
way.
out of
Don't
order.
fucking do that. This guy, Henry Vincent, he's a gypsy.
Yeah.
So all these people who are putting up these things, they're all gypsies as well.
Oh,
And
for
of course-
fuck's sake.
And of course, every single time there's something like this.
We can be racist towards gypsies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right. Cool. Fucking gypsies. So like,
Thanks for.
it's like obviously the guy whose house they're pinning these tributes to, he's getting really pissed off with it. He keeps on coming out and like tearing it down and shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why is he tearing down this tribute to our people?" I don't know, maybe because he tried to fucking break into his house.
Yeah.
Like
Luckily-
why is that? Fuck off.
When the guy was talking to, basically the jury let the guy off completely.
Yeah.
There was no one person who wanted to sentence this guy for defending his home.
Yeah. The problem that we have though is that his family and the people around him, who are all gypsies,
I
are
would think travellers, I think, is the best term. Gypsies is a different thing these days, isn't it?
They were Irish gypsies.
Yeah, travellers.
travellers. They're still cunts.
True gypsies wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
A true gypsy would not be.
I
doing
think
that.
that's fair, actually. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair enough. Okay, travellers,
Yeah,
Fucking cunts.
otherwise known as wankers,
yeah.
are continuously putting this thing up, and I sort of feel like at some point, because obviously they've been let off by the law, but travellers are the kind of twats who don't abide by the law. So I feel like there's going to be a point where this guy's walking down the road and these guys corner him and beat the shit out of him.
That is going to happen.
Or
they're
because,
trying to push
because this guy broke into his home
Yeah.
and he tried to defend himself.
Or they're trying to push him to a point where the guy will snap so they can get him arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh goodness.
and that's a thing that we have to deal with in England. These kind of twats.
Let's end on a lighter note.
That's my muggy kind of.
Yeah, both victims of the Salisbury poisoning are not Salisbury. I can't remember what it was.
Salisbury.
Salisbury poisoning are both alive and talking.
Yeah.
The daughter's pretty much better now.
She's been discharged, actually.
Yeah, and the father is rapidly improving and talking now. And there's no sign of brain damage or anything, which is great.
Good. That's good.
So let's move on to the next
Real
segment.
good news. All right, next segment.
It's Ash and Dan's wrestling corner, except Dan's not here, so we've got Ash and David instead.
Except David's not here.
David's not here either, but we called him earlier.
Yeah, we called him earlier. But we'll get to that in a moment. Basically,
It was... can I explain?
yeah.
So, this Sunday, it was WrestleMania 34. For those who are not in the know, who don't follow wrestling, WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, essentially. It's just a long time of wrestling and just fun, essentially. It's really, really fun. There's really good matches on the card, and generally it's enjoyable. 34th anniversary of WrestleMania. They performed they wrestled at the Superdome in New Orleans this year. Superdome in New Orleans. There were 78,000 people in attendance, and it was 6 hours long.
Yeah. I don't know how Ash does it. He watches, like...
I watch wrestling every week.
I hope we're running the edited version.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. This
6
won't
hours.
take too long.
I've got something to do this afternoon.
We're not going through the whole show, don't worry.
Yeah, just the matches.
So Ash asked me to watch, and I was like, you know what? Why not? My schedule's already destroyed, so I might as well destroy it some more. And I watched it with him, and I think it's interesting to sort of get the opinion of someone who isn't a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Not someone who's not into wrestling. Because despite not really being a wrestling person, that was probably the first proper wrestling show I've seen. I saw SummerSlam last year, but I wasn't paying much attention. But this year, this was the first, proper wrestling show that I've seen, and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it, but I did enjoy a fair chunk of it, which I was quite surprised about. So anyway, we're just gonna play that clip of of me talking with David. It'll introduce the first match of the title card.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hang on 1 second.
All right.
Go on
Okay, so let's go through these. The Miz versus Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins.
Kingslayer versus the extraordinary man that does extraordinary things versus the A-lister. What more can I say about this one? Before it happened, I sat there and I thought, any one of these guys could walk out with the win, and I don't think I'd be disappointed. And I wasn't. Seth Rollins, the Kingslayer, once again holds gold after a hard-fought match against Finn Balor and The Miz. And I wasn't disappointed with it.
Oh, that's good.
Again, could have done with being a bit longer and, probably being spaced out a little bit more, but I wasn't unhappy with it. I liked it.
There you go.
Okay, I think, first of all, David got one of the nicknames wrong. The Finn Balor's nickname is actually The Demon or Balor Club Worldwide, one of those two. However, it was a great match. Seth Rollins came out dressed as a White Walker from Game of Thrones. It was very cool. The Miz is out of the three is probably the worst wrestler of the bunch. However, he really pulled his weight in this match, and he did way better than he normally does. Like, obviously put a lot of effort into the match. I feel like the right person won for the time, even if I didn't agree so at the time. And Yeah, that means Seth Rollins is now a Grand Slam champion, which means he's had every single title on the main roster, which is really cool. And it was just a really well fought match. Everyone pulled their weight, and it was a very good example of a triple threat match.
So I didn't really pay attention to this one too much.
Surely everyone pulled everyone else's weight.
No.
God damn it, Paul. Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to this one, but I did see the entrances.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Seth Rollins thing because I'm not a Game of Thrones fan.
Neither am I, but I sort of recognised it.
But when The Miz came in, I sort of looked at him and I went to Ash and he said, he looks like a cunt.
That's his thing.
And Ash was like, yeah, he is a cunt.
That's his thing.
That's why Dan likes him.
That's why Dan. I don't like him. He's a cunt. But I like him when he wrestles. He's interesting.
Well, you're a cunt. I thought you'd get on.
No.
Hey, Major's getting into the swing of things. He's rolling with the bands.
But in general, I think it was a decent match. Well fought. There was a couple of. I'm just going to quickly discuss the pre-show matches before we move on. There was two. Just super quickly. There was 2 battle royals and a cruiserweight title match. There was the men's battle royal, which Matt Hardy won with the help of Bray Wyatt. That was good. That was decent. There was a cruiserweight title match, which was Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali, and Cedric Alexander won. Who came out dressed as Sub-Zero, by the way.
Oh, nice.
That's what I didn't realise at first, but it was Sub-Zero.
Cool.
Mustafa Ali dressed as Sub-Zero, and there was the women's battle royal match, which Jason can attest to. I was very angry about the result of.
I think the best part was the trophy looked like a set of ovaries.
It did look like ovaries. That is true. But no,
which was really weird.
I wanted Becky Lynch to win, and she didn't win.
She just disappeared.
Yeah, she got
through the match.
I found out she got eliminated off camera, and they didn't say anything. And I was very angry.
How does that even fucking work?
I don't know, but I was super angry about it. And then some woman called Naomi won, who I didn't want to win either, because she's just not interesting and not a very good wrestler. She has a finishing move called the rear end, where she just runs and attacks you with her arse.
Oh.
I had some girlfriends like that.
I mean, there are worse ways to lose.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next match.
Okay, so the next match.
Charlotte versus Asuka. Probably. Asuka, there you go.
All I've written down here asks. But an injured Queen pulls off the upset victory to retain the SmackDown Women's title over the Empress Asuka.
Yeah. Did you like it or?
I didn't think it went long enough, which, to be fair, is the main complaint I think I have for most of these matches. They just didn't seem to give them enough time. And again, much like the Alexa versus Nia match, it was perfectly serviceable. It was okay. I didn't hate it. I wouldn't have said I was necessarily into it as much as I should have been. But, you know, what with Asuka losing, I think there's no better time to have a lose than at WrestleMania, but at the same time, does it have to be this one?
Yeah. Alright.
So, Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, David. Get the fucking nicknames right. Was on a 900 day winning streak. She had not lost a match in her entire career, which is longer than Goldberg had his winning streak.
Her entire career.
Her entire career.
That's fucking...
her entire WWE career, at least. She'd not lost a match once. It actually lasted longer than Goldberg's winning streak, which is crazy.
How many times has she been married?
She's not married at all.
There's a reason for that.
Winning at Charlotte in a really decent match. They both did really well. One of them was bleeding quite heavily out of their arm at the end of it. I'm not sure who it was.
I think it was
Asuka, yeah. I
thought you meant bleeding, you know.
Yeah. I enjoyed them.
I feel like every time Paul makes a comment like this, I can just hear like a drum set go off in the back.
I enjoyed the match,
like an applause.
And I thought that Charlotte.
Paul, can you add that in post?
Asuka losing was. I was a bit upset first, but then the next day I found out they're actually planning for next year's WrestleMania to have the main event be a woman match, 2 girls, like the main event in the entire show being 2 women.
I'd watch it.
Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're building up Charlotte massively and having her be champion. The only downside of that is Charlotte's going to be champion for the next year. Oh no, she's not. She lost the championship on SmackDown. Never mind. She had a match. She got beaten up by 2 people. Then someone came out and cashed in their Money in the Bank and won.
Have they ever thought about doing this with custard or baked beans or something?
Funny enough, they used to do that.
Yeah, they used to have like matches where they fought in like a pot of like a paddling pool full of gravy or something. I don't know.
I'd watch that.
so would Vince McMahon. That's why it was.
But no, it was a serviceable match. I think it went on a bit. I think it was a good length. It just kind of ended really sharpishly and not very.
That's what she said to me last night.
And yeah,
I'm loving this.
It was good. It was a good match. So yes, the Empress of Tomorrow versus the Queen.
Okay, so
what did you think?
I mean, I had no complaints. Again, I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, you stopped paying attention after this match, pretty much, right?
I started paying attention in the 4th match.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I wouldn't really have much to say in these
move
first
on
3.
to David's opinion of the 3rd match.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev.
I think, again, the only other match I actually have written down here that I didn't manage to get the 1 sentence review down for, but I think when you have a superstar as over as Rusev is, I mean, you may or may not know the deal with him, but Rusev Day is so damn over, it's not even funny. And yet they have Jinder Mahal walk out the winner. And the point of that is, I mean, I thought, to be honest, I thought that match had some severe potential, but I just wasn't interested.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Ashley felt the same way.
I mean, I suppose Jinder, okay, fine, fair enough, mate, have fun with your United States title, but it wasn't very good, not in my opinion.
Well, the Fatal 4-Way match between the glorious one, Bobby Roode, the Viper, Randy Orton, Rusev, and the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal looks like a steroided-up man. I don't like him. I never have liked him. He's not a very good wrestler, and frankly, he didn't deserve to win the title. I would have been happy with anyone else winning, but Jinder was the wrong choice. I know why they got him to win, because they want to get him to be popular, because then the Indians will be happy, because they've just sort of launched in India and stuff.
Then the
properly.
Indians will be happy.
That's pretty much it.
Got to keep Indians happy.
Yeah.
Good.
We
got to check off all of our political correctness boxes.
Got to keep our Indians happy.
He's just boring, and I think the wrong person won. But the match itself was good where it was, because I didn't think it was going to be amazing, but I think it had a good place on the card, because it was after 2 really, really good matches. It was nice to have a match to sort of chill you down a little bit. After that, I was just a bit disappointed with the result of it, and the ending was a bit weird.
That's fair enough. All right. So, what is match number 4, past Jason?
Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Wow, I can't believe I didn't actually do that one here. That is the one match I didn't actually do. What can be said about that? Team Olympia versus Team Dadass. And that's DADASS, not,
Yeah.
What can be said about that? Of course, Ronda Rousey was going to break Steph's arm.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
It was, but at the same time, WWE really did risk losing a load of sponsors with the whole man on woman violence thing. But I thought it was okay, to be fair. I mean, strangely enough, it wasn't the worst match on the card. For Ronda Rousey to make the transition from UFC to WWE, you would have thought it would be a lot worse, but I was actually pleasantly surprised. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible, and Michael Cole really needs to learn to shut up when he thinks he's spouting wrestling facts.
You can, you could tell that she was struggling a bit at places, like she was feeling it.
She was struggling. What do you mean, Rousey?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
It sort of seemed like. It sort of seemed like she was prepared for it, but she wasn't, like, entirely. She wasn't prepared for how much.
She had to learn to pull her punches a bit, because otherwise she would have really ended up probably killing her. But, yeah, it was strange enough, it wasn't the worst match on the card.
I thought it was pretty good. I like that one. Right.
Okay.
Hello. I really love this match. Really, really liked it. Ronda Rousey was an MMA star before she joined the WWE, quite recently actually, and she did great. She held held up really well as it goes, and she was very smooth with a lot of her moves.
She held her own.
This match did actually get me really excited. This was the first one where I was like, "Holy fuck! This is." My favourite part was definitely Ronda was sort of on the wings for the start, and Kurt Angle was getting like his shit kicked in by Triple H. Meanwhile, Stephanie was sort of going down off the side and fucking with Ronda, and then Ronda was sort of like tag me in. Kurt finally does it, and she just sort of pole vaults over the ring and immediately just dive bombs into Stephanie. It was brilliant. It was a great vision just to watch because it was just like a straight cannonball for her.
And it ends with a really gruesome shot where Stephanie McMahon, which is the guy who owns the company's daughter, looks like she gets her arm broken. Like her elbow pushes right back to like here. It looked brutal.
Yeah, but it was pretty good.
Very good match.
She was extremely aggressive in it.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling it match of the night.
It was good fun. I liked it. Hype match, and it was Ronda's first match.
Yeah, first match on the ever.
Oh.
Yeah, and she broke the arm of the daughter of the company.
Yeah.
So not a bad
start.
career move.
Yeah. Let's move.
Not a bad first impression.
Let's move swiftly on then.
Next match, past Jason.
Real quick, what was your opinion of the New Day's entrance?
I thought that the weirdest thing I would see on that given night was midgets dressed as pancakes doing the worm. And that is still a sentence I cannot believe I have to say. Midgets dressed as pancakes doing the worm. I did mark out for Xavier Woods when he played the green dragon flute to some of the pancake midgets.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I like that.
I say pancake midgets, and I still can't believe it actually happened.
It was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so the New Day came out with midgets dressed as pancakes doing the worm.
This is what I wanted you to see, Major. Out of anything I wanted you to see, I wanted you to see like this army of Oompa Loompas dressed up in just pancake costumes, like strutting down the street. They were doing the worm, and then they had like plates of pancakes and just throwing them out into the audience.
Someone pointed out to me afterwards, and I didn't realise this, but they're actually it was actually a pun as well. They were short stacks.
What the fuck?
Oh, that was bad.
I don't even have anything clever to say. I'm just confused and a little scared.
The one thing I have to say about the match was just it was a good tag team match. It was a good example of classic teamwork in a tag team match. That's it.
So, David said his opinion was that it sort of felt like a squash match, and the Bludgeon Brothers weren't needed because the Usos and the New Day do a good job on their own. I kind of feel like this. Again, this is coming from a person who isn't into WWE, but it sort of feels like it's a match, just like a setup match, sort of like set up the next, sort of few months of matches and everything. The Bludgeon Brothers are sort of like squashed the competition. The competition now need to work really hard to sort of take that back.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next match we're going to talk about today.
Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Right. Well, of course, this was just a Daniel Bryan return 2 years in, and Daniel Bryan finally gets back into the ring to win against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and render them fired from SmackDown. Just 2 years after battling through concussions and being cleared, he finally gets back in the ring and wins to fire Sami and Kevin.
Yeah, that's all right. Ash was in love with that whole match.
Yeah, I can understand why.
He's a big fucking Daniel Bryan fan.
He's a Daniel Bryan mark, he really is. But no, that's fine. if you like something, I'm never going to stand in your way. But for me, it could have been a lot better than it was, although I'm not saying it was bad.
Yeah.
I can't say it was bad.
It was a good match. Once again, David was wrong. It was 3 years.
I love how every single thing David has mentioned so far, you've been like, no, David, you're wrong.
Yeah,
You're wrong,
He is
David.
wrong. He is wrong. Good, great match. As it was said, now I'm a massive Daniel Bryan fan, and it was really good to see him back in action after 3 years. Because he was injured, and they thought he'd never wrestle again because he had severe problems with his head because of concussions and stuff.
Oh wow!
But he got cleared, and he's started wrestling a safer style, and it's really, really good.
However,
Good on him.
However, the other guys were like, they were like straight up, like immediately they were just like, yeah, let's just slam his head into the floor.
Attack him from behind and throw him head first into the ground so he can't wrestle the rest of the match.
Meanwhile, his wrestling partner, Shane McMahon, had what was it?
Diverticulitis. And
It was
a hernia.
Yeah, it was a hernia in his stomach, and it was like
diverticulitis.
seriously acting up. You could see it by the end of it. He was sort of like clutching his stomach in pain.
Diverticulitis is a very,
shit.
very severe disease. It almost killed Brock Lesnar, which is like he's a very big, muscly man.
Oh wow!
So,
and he wrestled a match with it, so you know.
Yeah. So yeah. Big props to those guys. It was a pretty entertaining match.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Let's move on.
AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
The NJPW Dream match from Wrestle Kingdom 10 that WWE needed and didn't really get. I mean, it was okay, but it could have been so much better. I've got it. AJ retains against Shinsuke with a heel turn at the end.
Yeah, I didn't really. It didn't really grip me at all.
See, everyone's going to make the same comparison. It should have been the NJPW return match from Wrestle Kingdom 10 when they fought for their IC title. And yeah, it probably should have been, but it was always going to be a WWE style match.
Yeah.
And it kind of fell by the wayside because of it.
Now, what David seems to not realise is that it's like Jason said earlier, it was a build-up match. That because of the heel turn, it's going to be a match that a heel turn's when a person who's a good guy turns into a bad guy.
Oh, right. I thought it was a ladies' move.
No. It ended with Shinsuke giving AJ a low blow. So,
What?
punching him in the nuts.
Oh, sorry. I thought he got down on his knees.
He did go down on his knees. But then he ended with punching him in the nuts. And then he just kicked him in the head repeatedly.
Oh, nice.
Sucky long time.
The thing with this match was it was a decent match, but I know they're building up to something better, so I don't have a problem with it being as good as it could have been. It was very stiff, so a lot of very hard hits. It looked stiff hits when you hit someone pretty much for real, essentially,
Right.
and it looked like that a lot. And the match ended with AJ winning, as he said, and after the low blow.
You get a stiff hit and a low blow. That
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
After the low blow, AJ Styles was on the floor, and Nakamura just got up, and he wasn't like punting him in the head or anything, but he just kept like kicking this. Like he didn't really give a fuck. Like he just kept kicking him in the head repeatedly, really quite hard.
Is that in the rules?
Well, it was after the match had finished.
Oh, it's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's allowed to do it.
Outside,
That's
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
In his dressing room.
Technically, you are allowed to do it in the rules. You are allowed to kick someone in the head.
Right.
But like it just looked like they were just genuine, really quite hard kicks to the head, and it looked very painful and made me very uncomfortable to watch.
You just reminded me why I don't watch wrestling.
Why is
That's a
that?
bit rude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very nice.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the match, and it wasn't the NJWP New Japan Pro Wrestling dream match, but it was a very good match. A bit slow at times.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
All right.
And now the final match, which is Brock Lesnar versus
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Right, well, I was going to save that one, because there's a lot to talk about in it. Yeah. I've just written down here, I'm saving this one.
Okay.
Because the match itself was okay, I suppose,
Yeah.
but There's a lot more to it.
All right. Yeah, it was my least favourite as well, to be honest. I didn't find it in any way entertaining or engaging whatsoever.
Again, I want to get into it with you, but I'm saving it.
So, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. This match, Roman Reigns has now been main eventing WrestleMania for 3 years in a row, and I'm sick of him. I'm sick of seeing him, and I'm sick of seeing Brock Lesnar as well because he's lazy. It was a decent match, but they took it way too far. Like, it took 6 F5s, which is Brock Lesnar's finishing move, to defeat Roman Reigns.
It was 6 straight ones, right?
Basically, one after another with like maybe a minute break between them. And The Undertaker got beat after 3. Think about that for a second. The Undertaker got beat after 3 of them, and Roman Reigns survived 6.
The Undertaker has been undefeatable as well.
He was undefeated at WrestleMania for 21 WrestleManias before that.
Right.
I'm extremely annoyed that he had that, but it was surprising because everyone thought that Brock was going to lose, and actually originally the plan for Brock was Brock to lose until a week before WrestleMania. We changed it. However, it did end with Roman Reigns having his head busted open, like and he was just pissing blood out of his face. Blood all over the middle of the ring, blood down his face, blood all over the other guy, and then he got pinned for the Roman got pinned for the for Roman Reigns got pinned for the victory for Brock Lesnar.
All right.
It was I'll find a picture on my phone quickly of Roman Reigns' face.
Blood everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just completely red.
Yeah.
It was comical.
It was comical that he had blood all over his face. Right.
It reminded me a bit of the scene from Carrie.
Really?
They're all gonna laugh at you.
There was period blood all over his face.
What was it Rob said? When you go down on your girl and you say, "Oh my God, she's so wet," turn the lights on afterwards.
Oh God.
That looks a bit of a mess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's blood all over his face.
Yeah.
He just sort of looks like he's really angry.
I mean, he did get busted open.
It looks like the Sith out of
He's Darth
Star Wars. Yeah.
All right, let's. So that was WrestleMania 34. It was a decent show overall. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Let's
David has an opinion as well.
David's opinion was it was okay.
He said it was an 8 out of 10.
Oh wow,
An 8 out of 10.
that's
Yeah.
surprisingly high for him.
Yeah. So that's that.
David's one of these people who loves wrestling but also hates wrestling.
He likes to find complaints, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's so passionate.
Yeah. Let's move on.
David's a teddy bear. It doesn't even work anymore.
It doesn't
You just got to blow it hard. That's what she said last night.
Oh, there we go.
Oh fuck.
It's time for Quinton's Quandaries.
Is it?
Quinton's
Yeah.
Quandaries.
Aha!
Aha!
Do you want to join in, Major?
Yeah, he needs to.
I butted in a little bit.
You have to
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
aha, do it right now.
Okay,
Just,
Quint. Haha!
Aha!
Ah!
Just sort of scream.
There's,
Ah!
there's,
Sounds like someone's
there's a
bending-
little fucking delay,
Yeah.
and I can hear myself a little bit,
I don't give a fuck.
and it hurts.
It sounded like someone was hurting you.
It's because I am in pain.
Good.
Okay, Quinton's Quandaries.
fuck.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay, you're on your own.
Oh,
You're on your own, walking somewhere, wherever you are.
yep, used to it.
You suddenly have this apparition appear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you realise this is something ultimately special
Yeah, yeah.
appearing to me. And they announce to you that they're going to tell you something very important about the future. Do you want to hear it? So yes, I want to hear something very important. One detail about the future. And what they're going to tell you is the date of your death. Do you want to know it?
No. Instantly, no. I would
No.
not want to know that because I don't want to live in fear of me dying, you know. It's nice to know when you're going to die so you can plan things, but at the same time, I wouldn't want that you wouldn't want that constant stress of knowing when you're going to die and it getting closer every day. Like, you know you're going to die
Yeah,
at
there
some
would
point,
just be pressure.
but you don't know a specific point, you know what I mean? So
So-
I could die today, I could die tomorrow, but I don't know I'm going to die tomorrow or
Yeah.
today. I know I'm just going to die at some point in the future. And
So-
I'm happy with knowing that. I wouldn't be happy knowing the exact date because I'd probably freak out and then I'd try and avoid it no matter what.
I was
And then
about
that
to
would then
say.
move me, fucking up. Probably.
I was about
Yeah,
to say there would be people who would be like, well, I know when I'm going to die now. I'm going to avoid death on that particular day, and then you avoiding it ends up being how you die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's some Final Destination shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not want to know.
You would not want to know.
Well, what about you, Major?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Because think about it like this, right? If I was gonna die later today, I'm gonna have a much better day if I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go about my day, you know?
Eat a sandwich, whatever.
Exactly.
Sandwich,
Make my
have a
fucking
wank.
shitty chicken and mayonnaise sandwich.
There's nothing wrong with
guest
chicken and
star on a
mayo
podcast,
sandwiches.
and then fucking die. It was a good day.
So you're making. Don't make the chicken sandwich. There's salmonella in the chicken sandwich.
Salmon and Manila.
It's the sandwich that does it.
It was deliciousness that got him.
And part 2 of the quandary
Part 2.
is that you can learn this information about someone you love.
Oh, God.
No, I feel like I would want to know that even less than for myself.
Okay, so I'll tell you what happens there, right?
No.
It would be like the episode of Futurama where Fry goes back in time and tries to stop his granddad from dying
And
in
then
the
you end up
war.
becoming your own granddad.
And then he ends up killing his granddad by blowing him up.
And then he becomes his own granddad.
Now, taking out the fact that, you become your own granddad, but if you knew when someone would die, you probably try to protect them. And again, just like you trying to stop yourself from dying, you'd end up killing the person you're trying to protect.
Well,
So-
you have to, because that's the day they die.
Exactly, yeah. So,
I wouldn't want to know.
no,
Yeah.
Under
don't
no
tell me.
circumstances you wouldn't want to know.
Don't tell me at all. It would only lead to...
I think knowing the date of someone's
Worse.
death would probably ruin my life to a degree.
Interesting. There's,
You'd feel responsible, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
yeah. I've heard
Even if you
discussions-
have nothing to do it, like you're the one person who knows, so there's always
Yeah,
that
yeah.
little nagging suspicion of like, well, what if I had done something?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as well, like, if you tell anyone, if you're like, they're going to die on this date, and of course, because it's their designated death date, even if they protect them, they suddenly die, you're a suspect.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Yeah.
tell anyone.
Yeah, it wouldn't stand up in court, would it?
Yeah.
Someone told me
And
they
that
were
would
A,
just-
dying.
a
that was
ghost
just
appeared to me and
Okay.
said that this person was going to die on this date.
I mean, you might get away with an insanity plea.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one. There was a discussion on the radio about it, and one or two people said they'd like to know, because then they could plan the rest of their life.
Yeah, but what if it's like a week's time?
Well, there, or less.
Oh,
Yeah.
BRB.
When am I going
to
to
Niagara Falls?
when am I
Gonna
going-
bungee jump off of it?
When I'm going to die, oh, mate.
What happens if you found out? What happens if you found out that it was going to be another 50 years?
Another century.
That you're going to live to be 120. You're going to be lived to be the oldest person that's ever lived.
I wouldn't want to know. I just wouldn't want to know.
I like the idea of you ask them like right now and they just break your neck right there. We're going to die right now.
And do you know there's quite high statistics about people that die on their birthdays?
Yeah.
Because they're celebrating their birthday.
Mhm.
They usually get drunk, fall off something, or run in front of a car on their birthday, or get alcohol poisoning or something like that.
You should know by now, Paul.
See, that's why I don't
80% of
drink.
statistics are all
Right.
made up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this was it lies, and damn statistics or something like that.
Yeah.
What about the other 20%?
They're fine.
All right.
Let's move swiftly on to the
End of
next.
quandary.
It's not that-
That was a good quandary. I
they'll
enjoyed
get
that
theirs next
quandary.
year.
Yeah, yeah, next year.
Aha! Quentin's quandaries.
Ah,
Aha!
Quentin's Quandaries.
Next segment.
It's that time again.
It's the end of the show.
Now I'm sad.
Good.
It's the longest show you've done for a long while, actually.
Yeah, I know, right? How long is it?
We're very
Paul?
proud of you.
1 hour 40 minutes.
Oh,
Wow,
shit.
fuck me. Well, that was a good show. I enjoyed it. Let's all do our big outro bit. Hi. I'm
Before
Ash.
we do though, I'd like to give a big thanks to Major Wipeout for coming today and being our guest
I
at
was gonna
such an
d- I was-
early point in the
I was
morning.
going to do that when he did his goodbye.
Well, we should do it beforehand because we're
You're a good
guests.
boy,
We're
Major. I
creditors.
love you. Mwah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was. I was happy to be on. I had a lot of fun. You guys are cool.
Thank you.
If you ever want me back, I'm always around. But
That's
yeah,
not going to
this
be a
was
problem,
fun.
Major.
I would absolutely want you back, Major.
I wouldn't mind. Maybe when Dan's here.
Maybe when Dan's here, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Now that we got the setup down, Pat,
Yeah.
we can.
It's a good setup. Okay, hello, I'm Ashley, nice to meet you. I also known as LON3 Enigma, or Lone Enigma as it's pronounced, but it's LON3 Enigma on Twitter and YouTube. What was that, sorry?
That's gay.
Okay, WizKing27.
Fuck you.
Anyway, you can find me on YouTube and Twitter. I upload YouTube videos that are just shit posts, and I upload tweets that usually retweets of funnier people. And I basically am sad and I want to die. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube at The Tripod. Jason.
Hello, my name is Jason Gould. You can find me at the YouTube channel Jason Gould, but it's not Jason Gould anymore. It's the editor. I rebranded. Former channel name WizKing27. I just upload anything I want on there. Just random shit. There's acting shit. There's shit posts. There's everything. If you want to see me play games, you can see it at Vault Entertainment. If you want to see me playing them live, then it's on the Twitch channel Editor, and my VODs are up on Vault Archives. Or not Vault Archives, it's now called Editor Streams, whatever. There's things around, and you can find them by going places. But that's all that. I have a Twitter account, but I don't do anything with it, so don't bother.
Major?
I'm MajorWipeout. Whenever I get around to fucking finishing music, it goes up on my SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/MajorWipeout.
I didn't realize you were a SoundCloud
I don't have any other websites, so don't worry about it.
No, I've got a Tumblr, also called Major Wipeout.
I absolutely don't have a devious Tumblr where I draw porn or anything.
He does. Major Wipeout on
do.
Tumblr.
Don't go there.
Don't go there unless you're a fucking degenerate. And Paul.
Yes, you can usually find me in bed, and you can follow me by staying in bed too.
That was the Tripod. Thanks for listening, and make sure to ring your mum if she loves you.
Now, to close out, we're going to close out on another lovely tune from Major. What's this called, Major?
This one is called Showdown with Rattlefake, and it's a boss battle. It's the final boss of the game that the other one was from.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll listen to that. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. See you then.
I'm just doing a record testing, which seems to be working. Oh fuck, hang on.
Welcome to GiftGaff's voicemail. The person you're calling can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone. You can re-record your message by pressing hash at any time.
Shit. This is going in outtakes. Ooh.